Hi, I'm Nate Caddy. You're listening to the Don Pod.
Welcome to the Don Pod, the supporters podcast. Here's your hosts, Sam and Nate.
3, 2, 1, yeah!
Hello. Welcome back to the Don Pod, the supporters podcast, for another look into the 2025 trade period. I'm Sam. I'm joined by Nathan. Hello.
Hello, Sam. Hello to everyone out there. Hope everyone's going well in this warmer weather.
Oh, it's lovely, isn't it?
It's nice.
It is nice. I just realised as I started speaking that the microphone was way too close to my face, and it was weird. So apologies for that.
Fair enough. You don't like things like that near your face.
No, I could get a lot of what's Ralph say? Blowback. Before we get underway, just shout out to James B, who has subscribed again to us on YouTube. He will now get access to this episode an hour or so, I haven't decided yet, earlier than everyone else. That's the majorest of perks we can think of right now.
Well, we're thinking about lending him our wives, but that seems probably too much for the $7 a month. But
that's big.
It's big. I mean, Sam can't give one.
I don't have a wife. Yeah.
Girlfriend?
Not even.
No, not even.
Still
Okay,
happily single.
happily.
Yeah, actually, very. Thank you. Anyway, this podcast is not about me and my.
Thank God for that. That'd be a short podcast.
Yeah, no one would listen.
Yep.
We're here to talk footy.
Booty or
Footy?
Footy.
Footy.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
It's on the mind.
Yes. Specifically on the agenda is Braden Fiorini, Gold Coast Suns, formerly Gold Coast Suns. Merrett, of course. Our seeming desire to trade up the draft order. And also Matt Rose's comments today on Gettable/Trade Radio about our NGA products in Sweden and Alaska. So that's the agenda. We'll probably waffle 17 times off that, but...
Shall we tell them now it'll be a very short podcast?
No, I was going to let that one go.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone listening can tell my voice is deeper than usual. It's because my voice has been a bit good for the last few days.
Finally become a man.
They finally dropped.
His testicles have finally dropped. You're welcome, Sam.
It didn't have to mention the T word, but all right.
Testicles. We're big enough people to say the word testicles.
No, it's a bit weird. That's all.
It's better than balls. Like balls is a bit derogative.
We could just talk about football.
Okay, let's do that.
Now, hang on. Another quick shout out here to Chris on Twitter, who messaged us asking when the next pod was, and is largely the inspo for recording right now.
Sam's very easily manipulated people. If you tell him how unreal he is, he'll do. We should do another podcast.
Well, we'll probably do anyway. Let's
I don't know. We'll see how this goes. See what we've got to talk about.
We got plenty. I'll chuck Zach Merrett in a Hawthorn jumper in the thumbnail, and away we go.
Fuck you, Zach Merrett.
First cab off the rank. Good news.
Yep.
Good news. Braden Fiorini, born in the great month of August, has elected Essendon.
It's the best thing about him, is it?
Well, he's born 2 days before me, in day, not year.
Okay.
He's significantly younger than me, thankfully. 123 games for the Gold Coast Suns, 41 goals. Probably the highlight for me so far was Matt Rose's comment on we're looking for role players, and they were really impressed with the role that Fiorini played on the wing.
Yep.
The Suns this year, 18 games he played for them this season, so all bar 7.
He played in the last few, I think.
Yeah,
in the finals. I agree with you 100%. It was really interesting, that comment about the specific role that that he was chasing, and mentioning the wing in particular, because we kind of think it's a very fascinating role at Essendon, isn't it? Like Luau played it a bit last year, Jones has played it before, Callie's played it before. Yeah. Whereas we think that obviously Duursma gets one. He's very good on a wing. Like, we'd agree with that, wouldn't we?
I would have agreed. Yeah, I do. I would have said Martin was pretty safely the other wing, but we seem to be shoving him around. He's not playing in the most of next year anyway. But
That's right. Yeah. So I get that. My only concern is that I hope the hype of this guy doesn't turn into a Gresham. I remember when Gresham came, we were a little bit excited about that.
were
Yeah.
we? I don't
His
think you and
numbers
I
are better.
were.
When you look at Fiorini's numbers, his numbers they are better.
Let's
As a
not
winger. Yep.
let's not tarnish him with aggression brush just yet.
Let's just be cautious.
I'm hopeful, but
Yeah.
just to drill down on the role players,
Yep.
that's to me that's building a list that can be
Yeah.
successful because you've got a vision in mind and you want to build a list to play that vision.
Mm.
This and it is Dodoro era of we'll just take the next we'll take the best available player. Best available, best available, best of, and that's how you end up with 16 midfielders who aren't really great at anything.
Yep.
Apologies there to Durham, Caldwell,
Yeah. Yeah. We got a
maybe a
few right.
handful of others. Yeah,
Not
you're
banging
bound
them out
to.
too much. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, roll. Love it. Roll. Trade hasn't been done yet. We are going to trade
Mm.
either, I think it was a third round or future fourth, maybe future third or
Yeah. I
fourth,
don't think it's
just
too
to
much.
avoid
Yep.
the dilution
Yep. No, I
of
think that's
the
right.
Draper compensation. By the way, Draper's gone to Brisbane. That's probably
Oh
not
yeah.
much we need to talk about there, to
If
be
anyone
honest.
didn't know.
Yeah, in case you weren't aware.
Yep.
Newsbreakers here at the Don Pod.
Yeah.
um,
Sorry. Go.
no, it's okay. Away you go.
No. No. You go.
No, yeah, okay.
No. No. You go.
I was just going to say, like, there's not a lot we can talk about it other than that role base just gets me happy. I like that.
Yeah. Look. Look. I'm happy for him. He's when you look at his numbers, he's like disposals, his kicks, his marks, clearances are all average or above average. Like so, all those like um tackles average or above average. So they're good. They're good things. And I imagine they're all sort of based on he's played a bit of wing a fair bit, so. I don't have a problem
And
with that. Lual hasn't been offered a contract, neither has
not yet.
Hobbs
Yep,
nor Setterfield. So
correct.
they'll be sitting out until the end of. Do they sit out to the end of the trade or the draft? Because we could how many we bring in there? Like that's unknown still too.
I believe there's a list lodgement date after the
Okay.
draft. So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would say we have
Yeah.
until that point.
All right.
I don't see why we'd hold them until after the draft. I think it'd be trade period that you'd be looking at
Yeah, that's right. If
what
they,
you can get for them, who
Mm.
you can get in, all that, and then you'd make that call.
But we have told them that they have to. We're not. We're not doing anything
Oh,
with them
it's
until after this period.
pretty clear at this point
Yeah.
that we're either shopping them around or we're shopping ourselves and don't want to commit to
That's
them.
right. Yeah. So because we don't know what we're getting in and out, and on that, you could imagine that. I mean, I've thought about this for the last week or so. Like with all the stuff going on in the media, you read, you see Oliver up at GWS, you see,
Mm-hmm.
Flanders at St Kilda getting shopped around, showing the facilities, and you think this is one of those fucking things that Zach Merrett's done to us probably at the Merritt too, at the moment with the situation he's put us in is that you can't imagine anyone is coming to Essendon and being shopped around. Here's Zach Merrett, our captain. Here's the coach. Here's our facilities. Look how good everything is. Look, we were shit this year, but we're hoping to be better. Come to our club. We're going to be a better. Big club. We play big games. But that wouldn't be happening. They'd be like, well, we can't really introduce you to Zach because he's not really talking to us at the moment.
There's
Here's
no
the facilities. This is
schmoozing.
where Ridley breaks his hamstrings all the time.
Tell you what,
Hmm.
get them out there on a sunny, clear day out at Tulla when it's still, because it's always
No
bloody,
win. Yeah.
bloody windy down here.
It's another problem.
It's a beautiful place. But yeah,
But you see my problem. Like
Yeah,
I
there's
saw
like there's no
GWS
schmoozing.
had the coach, the captain. They're all on a boat, like cruising down the river there, and whereas we couldn't be doing that at the moment because of what Zach Merritt's done. And look, we can move on to that one next. But all the reports are that he's probably going to have to stay now. But he's put a fire under us that's, I reckon, been pretty shit.
Pretty hard. One last thing on Fiorini. The other thing
Yep.
that Matt Rosa mentioned was that we're quite interested in his leadership qualities,
Yes,
which was a big thing for me as well, because
Hmm.
from an outsider's perspective, something we've lacked for a while.
Yeah.
So
Well, it's the part of what the club's problem is. Like, I again, we'll talk about this maybe later, but Merrett as captain can't happen going back into next year. I mean, it very well might, but it also, and it's a thing we've talked about for a long, long time, the depth and breadth of our issues of leadership at the club. Like, there's just no one there.
I did some Facebook promotion and asked some people for their input. So I think I'm going to, rather than do this at the end,
Yeah.
I'm going to just talk the Fiorini comments now
Yep.
and do it that way.
Good idea.
Get the people involved. I won't read all the comments and I might paraphrase a bit. So apologies for that. Matt Crawls. Fiorini's running numbers looks brilliant. Means Harry Jones is nowhere near the wing. There's one you didn't mention before.
Yeah, that's a about him. So many have got a chance on the wing. I don't get it.
Yeah. Me and you might get a call up.
That's right.
Fuck, I couldn't think of anything worse. Matt has other stuff there, but not Fiorini, so I'll leave that for the second. Phil. We love Phil.
Yeah, we love Phil.
He feels like Fiorini will be a good fit for our side. Definitely some more two-way running won't hurt.
Yeah, he's a pretty fit bugger, so that's good.
And then Glenn's asked, why haven't we done the Fiorini trade yet? I would say it's a fairly low priority just because it's cut and dry. I would hope. I don't see it.
Well, I think Gold Coast are probably dealing with bigger fish at the moment. Obviously, if Flanders is out. Petrarca they're trying to get in, and there's a couple others that are going in and out. Can't think of their names.
The Flanders trade happened today.
Yeah, but there's still like they have to. There's I can't think of his name. I read it the other day. And Humphreys too. They're trying to hold on to him. So clubs have come after him, which is
he's a weird one as well. It's a bit of the merits. He's a very good player. A bit of the merits about him though, in that he thinks there was apparently he wants out, but no. I mean, his manager kind of screwed him over. It was all a bit funny.
Oh, really? Yeah, I didn't hear that. Yeah.
Anyway, on to Judas. No, not Jay Danaher. Zach Merrett.
Well, we've got a new one, haven't we?
New Judas. Look, we haven't spoken, I don't think, on the podcast, at least since Welsh took over. And in his very first interview said he going nowhere. Since our last pod, we've had the Brownlow, where he was asked about it. And
yeah, that was awkward.
The L word was mentioned quite a few times about his love of the club and how the club loves him. And I was like, really, Zach? Okay. And then we had the BNF, and I think the BNF speech is worthy of mention in itself. The old Chat GPT / Copilot script writing skills there. It gave me the sense of a man being
it was like that, wasn't it?
held to ransom. Told you need to say these things. Chucked it into a AI of some description.
This is what came out.
Also kind of felt like he had a gun to his back throughout the whole thing. He was quite rigid.
But I'll take it another way too. Is this that I think this says too all about his leadership qualities? Is that like if that's I heard the speech, and if that's the best he can come up with in that situation, I mean, I'm like, fuck me, I'm not inspired, mate. Like I don't know. Yeah, like I know I don't know, but the club feel like they've said put the foot down and said, nah, not fucking happening, mate. Not fucking, and he sort of had to go, oh, but I want to, and then they're talking about, we've had conversations with Zach about, he's in a hurry as a football player. And I'm like, he's 30. Like, if he hasn't realised where we're at yet, then, he's a bit slow.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite funny that there's a few digs in Zach's direction through the other speeches at the Best and Fairest. I don't know if you caught them.
No.
I think Durham might have talked about long-term contracts and how, I'm in a long-term contract, so that means I'm here and I'm committed. And
really? Well, that is interesting.
It was a bit pointed. I think it was Durham. Don't shoot me if I'm wrong. But the biggest takeaway I had from Zach's speech was essentially he was saying no one's bigger than the club, and I understand that. I understand the point of a contract. No, you don't.
No.
Because you don't understand the point of a contract because you want out. If you understood the point of a contract, you'd see it through. And
you made it public that you want out.
And you are making yourself bigger than the club.
Yep.
So Matt Rosa, again, interviewed, said, no, we're not entertaining it. We are not entertaining any offers, anything. He is staying at Essendon. Hawthorn said, we haven't talked to Essendon.
Yep.
So I don't
understand.
I kind of get a feeling like Hawthorn's just played him a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like they threw a bomb at us.
To make some headlines and, it's sucked in. It's like when the girl asked you on a date, but she was only joking.
Yeah, so we've just been made fools of, and Zach's walked away going, oh, but I thought they liked me.
That's painful. That I can relate with.
Oh, you can, Sam. Sam could tell us a story about failure.
Oh, the F word was a bit much. Christ.
If I do this well enough, you might get a sympathy date.
I don't want a sympathy date. Thank you.
Sure you do,
I'm far, well, Prouder-ish.
Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, again, there's not a lot to update, but a lot's happened. So I there's still a part of me that just thinks the club has to say this. The club has to say he's not going anywhere. Because as soon as they show a moment weakness, Hawthorn
Oh,
can
yeah.
come in and lowball.
Anyone could.
Well, anyone could, yeah. But the narrative in the media, extra to that, has been that Hawthorn have to come to the table
Yeah.
with one offer, and it's got to be a good one.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
that's it.
No, I agree.
At this point, I don't care. If he goes, good riddance. If he stays, fine, but you're not my captain. I'll be
No,
pissed off if he
yeah.
stays and he's captain.
I think that'll be the fascinating thing for me. Whatever happens in the next, period before the start of next year is the captaincy thing now. If he stays, I just can't see how he can be captain. I really can't.
And
I just can't. He has to stand in, like as you've said, he has to acknowledge that he's done the wrong thing and stand down.
as part of that mending, healing
Yeah.
process, yeah. And we can talk about Andrew McGrath's playing ability until the cows come home, but his leadership qualities seem to be superior
Yeah.
to Zach's at least.
Yep.
And, there was that, being mic'd up against St Kilda and going up to Jack Higgins and asking about, I think it was Newen. There's some real genuine care for his teammates and commitment to the
Mm.
cause.
Yep.
So, I mean, we were pretty hard on McGrath through the year. I think it's fair to say.
Well, when you watch McCluggage roll
Well,
around,
yeah, that hurts
like this
extra
is the
more.
thing that kills me. Like, just to briefly talk about the grand final, but I mean, Hugh McCluggage is a good football player. I don't know if
Do you
watched.
reckon though, if you chuck McGrath in that Brisbane side, he'd be a damn sight better
He's
player
no,
too?
he
He's
would
not going
not
to
be.
be that good, but he's going to
Nope.
be a better
Yep.
player.
But I think I don't want to get off on a tangent, but the thing that
Let's-
frustrates me about McGrath is that when we got him, yeah, he'll start in the back pocket, then roll through to the midfield. And I remember 5 years ago when it was, he rolled into the midfield, and we all went, he's a bit of shit, like. Whereas McCluggage, you watch him, and you just love the way he goes about it, like everything. So no,
Yeah.
McCluggage is a much better football player.
I totally agree, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
it takes a lot for us to now be on McGrath's side in terms of, yeah, you can be my captain because Zach's pissed us off that much.
Well, again, I don't know who's next. Like it's Redmond who it's probably Caldwell. I don't know who the vice captains are. Like it's Ridley who
He
I'm pretty
wanted
sure
that as well, yeah.
he wanted out. He's a vice captain. I'm pretty sure. So God, it's not much. If it's why. I don't know why we probably should be looking at some guy like Jack Steele.
Actually, that's not on my list. I should have mentioned him.
Mm.
Just a few comments. So back to Matt.
Yeah.
Merrett has to go. Seems like we're making the Hawks come up with a great deal, and then we will hear the trade request come out, and Rosa will get it done.
Yeah.
Ben does say we should go after Jack Steele to the club.
Only Ben.
I fear the team may not look to Merrett as a leader due to the current circumstances. It would be
Yeah.
good to have a ready-made leader at the club.
Look, I think Jack Steele is a leader. He's a good football player. His numbers, when you look at his numbers again, I saw a thing on Fox where they put him up against Dunkley, like compared the two numbers, and they were very similar. And one of the things that Steele was at 9 tackles a game, and Dunkley was at like about 4 or 5. That was Dunkley did a few other little things a bit better, but Steele, Steele's still a pretty good player. And to be honest, to get that sort of leadership in it to the club, I'd be very excited about. Is what would turn me on about him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And then Phil,
And you get to play big games, which it's like, you don't.
you don't, yeah. Phil said he's mixed on Merrett. Have to trade up. Oh, no, hang on. He's just mixed on Merrett. That was all. Sorry,
Yeah.
Phil. I thought there was more to that. That's my bad. Next on the agenda is the trading up of the draft order. So, current hand for us.
Yes, I got that for you, buddy. We have 5, 6, 21, 27, and 30.
What?
5, 6, 21, 27, 30.
Okay. So that includes the Draper Compo,
Yep.
and then 4 is ours, 5 is ours, 6
Yep.
is from Melbourne,
Yep.
27
is-
would be
well,
ours,
21
30
yeah.
is St Kilda's.
Yep.
Look at me go. The one I'm looking at doesn't have it adjusted for the Oscar Allen pick yet.
Yeah,
So
so this is as of the 8th of today.
yeah,
Of today, so
yeah. So Rose has talked about contacting and talking to Richmond and West Coast, not Hawthorn,
hmm
Richmond and West Coast to trade up the draft. Personally, don't see the point of Richmond. I feel like
No,
the point is to get Duursma, and to do that, I think we need to trade with West Coast, either
yeah,
one or two.
it's Duursma or bust.
Yeah, and I think if you go by pure pick value, the point system, 4 and 5 is more than enough
Mm.
to get pick one.
Yep.
I realise we have to overpay a little bit if we're the ones that are going to them and wanting it.
Now, would you be happy, or would the people out there be happy to give up 4 and 5 to get one?
I mean, for me, you and I spoke about this earlier. If we identify a player we need and want to trade up to get it, I'm all for it. If they are taking the time to look and work out what players they need for their vision, I'm a big fan.
Whereas you don't think it's better to go 4 and 5 and pick the guys that ever whatever come along at that number,
Well, how's
and
that
you
been
get
working for
two.
us?
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm asking you. So it's the two guys that might be average versus one guy that might be very good.
Okay, so I'd ask you then, what do you make of our younger stocks at the minute?
Yeah,
Do
so
you
if we go back
think
through our last first round picks, being Sardis, Hobbs, Caddy,
not
and
not so much
well,
first round picks, just our younger players, do you think they're good enough to take us forward? I.e.,
yes,
are we okay to pick one player instead of two
yeah,
in a weak
mm.
draft is my
No, yeah,
biggest
yeah.
thing.
So I think that, well, I think, okay, so we've got a lot of players in between 18 and 24 or 25, whatever. And if we just go back, as I said, in those last four drafts, been Caddy, Kako, Hobbs, Sardis, and there's probably one other I'm missing. That sort of first round picks. Two of those look like really good players in Kako and Caddy. Two of those, well, one's definitely we're unsure of, still in Sardis. Hobbs is not getting offered a contract, so not high hopes on him. Then you look at the next group up, like that's when you run into the Martins, the Durhams, who else is sort of in that called the Caldwells, I
It's
guess, in that
almost
group.
it's almost like we have a spreadsheet for
Spreadsheet,
this.
yeah. I know. So I do think there's some decent players in there. Like we can go. There's Reed. There's other guys around that sort of bracket that I think are pretty decent players.
So, oh,
Not Draper. The Ruckman Bryant, Nick Bryant.
you've forgotten old mate that finished second in our best and fairest,
Who's that?
Archie Roberts. So,
Archie Roberts. Yeah.
in terms of 19, 20-year-olds, Kako, Jaron, Clark, Unwin, Johnson, Newen, Daywicks, Roberts, Caddy,
Yeah.
Lual, Vigo, and Smart. Smart's gone. I need to remove
So
him.
there's none of them. Well, there's one or two of them that are okay, but not many.
But they're 19, 20-year-olds. You're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
looking for them
Well,
to be superstars
that's
just
right.
yet.
It's hard to guess them. Like Caddy stands out as a very good football player
Yeah.
coming.
So just for the sake of this conversation, I
Yep.
won't read them all out, but I'll read out ones that stand out to me.
Yep.
Lewis Hayes, 21.
Yep. We're seeing some great stuff from him.
Perkins, 23. So a bit of a jump there.
Yeah. But that's the good bracket, 23 to 25.
Zach Reed, 23.
Yep.
Durham, 24.
Martin, how was Nick Martin?
24.
Yeah.
Caldwell's only 25.
Yep.
Duursma's 25.
Yep.
And then you sort of go into Pidge at 27. And
Yep. So that tells me that, like if they're 24, 25, like 5 years time, 7 years time is there between now and their prime.
yeah. So to
So
tie
your
that
argument
back,
is don't get two young ones, get one
well,
young one in. Yeah.
my argument's not to not do it, but are
Do we
we in a
need to?
position where two players is more required than one? And given the spots available on our list, I would say no.
No. Look. I agree with you. I think that if we could get 5 and 6 to one, I would do it and get Duursma. You still got chances of NGAs or other players. Pick 20. You still can get good players that pick 20,
Yeah, bloody
20,
oath.
27 and 30. Like you can. Well, history's shown a lot of clubs not fluke it, but a lot of good players rolling through that second round draft. To be honest, sometimes better than all of the first rounds.
Yeah, well, it's one of my favourite pastimes going through drafts and finding the lowest picked Premiership
Yep.
players
Yep.
on Wiki because they highlight them in nice gold.
So I do agree that it would be worth it. And if they and people do rate, he's the number one rated by Cal Toomey in
Hmm.
he's sort of draft predictor. So if
Well,
he's the best player and West Coast would do it, I would just do it. Yes.
And I think West Coast aren't going to trade pick 2.
No.
They trade pick 1 because it's worth more to them.
Yep.
Pick 2 is not worth. And then you've got to have a handshake agreement that they take draft
Yeah,
titler
you've
at
got to know
1.
who they're taking, yeah.
Yeah.
And part of
So
our theory on that is that we think that you would think that they'd be chasing a Duff Tyler player, like a tall
Ruckman. They need a
ruckman slash
ruckman. Yeah.
forward. With Allen's gone, the other two ruckmen are ordinary, to say nicely, Williams,
Just
and the other one.
Williams.
So yeah, you'd think that'd be, Nat Nui. Since Nat Nui, they haven't had a decent ruckman. So anyway, but that's, I don't know. Maybe they also want midfielders.
Well, they've had a couple of players go in West Coast. Like
Yeah.
Starcevic, has gone. Who else was there? There's a couple.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you can struggle after starts a bitch.
There was a 2 or 3 that were. Anyway, they've got a couple of guys in.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not a fucking West Coast podcast. I don't need to know everything about them. Anyway, so I, in my totally uninformed opinion,
Yeah.
like the fact that we're looking at that and want to do that. I also would note the added benefit of this, I don't know if it's a reason why you'd push
Mm.
it, is that when we go knocking on North Melbourne's door for Zane Duursma next year, as is the rumour,
Yep.
that's good ammo.
Oh yeah, if we've
Players
got the
with your
two
brother.
brothers already, then he's walking. He'll
You,
walk out of that
you,
club
you
with
make it
another. Yeah.
very appealing to him.
Yep. Yeah. No, that's
I
not.
would imagine North putting some time into him in 2026 because he was on the outer this
Yeah,
year.
he's struggling to get games, and when he was playing out of position. But anyway, that's for the next year.
Yep. Sorry. So not a lot of comments on that, really. I think it's all
Well, the reality is, and this, we can fantasize and dream about getting the number one pick. We probably will just go to the board with 5 and 6, which, if the chances of that, then, because it's a pretty compromised draft early, there's, very high Gold Coast, very high Brisbane. There's a few other guys. I think there's like a Carlton father son that's going to go in the top 5 or 6. So we might not be picking until like technically 9 or 10 or something like that. Like actual players. Um, so
we
and those guys, there's one guy, Dyson Sharp from South Australia, who's a midfielder, who's probably about that first on that list that we might get a look at.
were you chancing that Bolter? Not not
No,
not
no, he's jumped into like 2 or 3 of
oh
the
shit.
non-father son or
So
non-NGA father
Richmond.
son. So, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
And the other one would be an Aiden Schubert, who's a tall forward. So
Oh
they're both
no.
South Australian kids.
Right. So according to this, which again hasn't updated to today, we have the strongest draft hand in terms of
Points
point
wise.
value. Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
It's surprising given West Coast have one. Like that's worth 3,000 and then it
One
drops
and
off.
two.
Well, that hasn't got 2 yet. That's a good
Oh,
point.
yeah, well, then, yeah, they'll have the strongest one.
Yeah. St Kilda,
Mm.
according to this, pick 49 and 64.
I can confirm that. 50 and 65.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's what I'm looking at, just
Yeah.
adjusted. That's not many picks. They are.
Well, Western Bulldogs got 12 and 33.
St Kilda are going to be either amazing or
Yep.
fold.
Yep.
Like,
Fold.
there is there is no in between
I want
for
the
this
fold.
strategy. Like, I love it. Like, I would be so wrapped if I was a St
Yeah.
Kilda supporter.
Oh, yeah.
But oh my God, could it backfire?
Oh, it's
Big
interesting.
time.
Well, at us, we did it a
did
few
it.
years ago and
Yeah.
just killed us, and we hated it and still hate it now. So hopefully it works for them. To be honest, I don't want that
I
pain.
don't hold it against them, but
Yeah,
it's risky. It's big.
they've probably done it better, going for better players.
They have. Finally,
Hmm.
on my list is talking about Rose's comments on our NGA products. And this is only because it's just interesting.
Yep.
I'm going to read this as a bit of a quote. So he was asked if we've committed to them. And paraphrasing slightly, he said, we've spoken to both and sat down with their families. We really like them as players. We'll need to see where our picks sit and that there's a lot to play out there. And he also mentioned that they know that.
Mm.
Good.
Was
Mm.
go. Mm.
Well, no, you
Mm.
speak. What do you think?
Well, I just thought it was interesting because I thought Alashkar and Swede were pretty much a sure thing. Like, from what I've heard, and we'd been watching them and following them. You know, they played. I think one of them, I can't remember which one now, played for the VFL team and looked pretty good. I think it was Swede.
I think they both have at different
Oh,
times.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah, and they both got, you know, good attributes that you like. They're both nuggety as hell. Like I love their size about them. They're good, thick set, sort of look like the meatball from
Well,
Richmond.
Alachkas, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, yeah, like if we can get them in as second round picks or third round, I'm all for that. They
And
look like good players.
am I right in saying they both jumped into the top 30?
One was definitely in the top
Because
20. I
Swede
can have
was
a look
about
at that.
20.
Yep.
I reckon Alachka jumped into like 29 on
Yep. Well,
Cal's.
on Cal's last list had Swede at 22,
Mhm.
and I reckon Al Ashkar was around somewhere higher. Yeah, 29.
So this might be
But that,
stupid.
yeah, okay. Oh, no, stupid.
Do we just take them with our picks? We've got pick 20, 26, and 29. Like, I don't.
Well, yeah, I guess it sees what plays out. Like, do we try and back, like, I don't know, like, are we trying to get an extra play? It all comes down to the numbers, like, because we're obviously going to keep, what's his name, the ruckman, Blitzar's apparent, Blitzar's twin
Oh,
brother.
Blackiston.
Mm. So I can't remember if he's been given a contract.
I believe he has. I'll double
Yeah,
check
okay,
that.
but I know that again in that interview with Rosa, he talks about how he sort of indicated that he'll be our ruckman at the start of the year. Because they talked about the injury to Nick Bryan, and he was saying how, well, Blackstone had to sort of be forced to play as a defender, which he'd never done before, but he was one of the better, well, we said he was the best ruckman in the sort of second tier football. Probably not true, but that's what you're saying. So I think they talked about his last quarter against Gold Coast. We saw a lot of attributes that we really like. So they're going to obviously play him as a ruckman.
Mm. Sorry, Essendon have a player movement hub, which is quite
Oh,
pretty.
really? Well, anyway, so there's
Right.
still, and again with Hobbs, Setterfield, and Lual, and there might be others that haven't been offered contracts. So I guess it's going to come down to numbers for spots.
Mm. So we've signed Vicentini, Nick Bryan, Archie Roberts, and Newman, all since the
Yep.
start of August. And then post-season have signed 1 year deals to Pryor, McMahon, and Blackiston.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. There you go.
And that means
That
we've
wouldn't leave
lost.
many spots, would it?
Well, no, we've lost Shield, Menzies, Davey Jr., Laverde, Goldstein, and Oscar Smart, and
Mm.
now Draper as well.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, hmm. I mean, obviously the Merrett thing can throw things out too. If Merrett does pull the trigger on us and
Mm.
forces us to leave, then that also puts numbers, throws things around. So I guess they're just waiting to get through this and knowing that Merritt can't leave, then they can make more final decisions on the
Well,
list.
they've got plenty of time between this and the draft. Although you can
Yeah.
trade draft picks all the way up until the draft, I
Yeah.
think.
So,
But once we know what players we've got, we'll know how many
because we,
players we need to bring in.
yeah, that's right.
This is why the whole trading up to pick one makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Because we don't have a lot of. I think you have to take at least three
Mm.
in the
And
draft. So I
well,
could be
if
wrong.
we pick one and then those two, that would be good enough, really, wouldn't it? And maybe one other pick in the 20s.
I don't know if we need to split 20. You know how like last year with Kako we traded
Mm. Yeah,
to
yeah.
make sure we didn't have to use that pick on him. I wonder if that's a factor. But this is where I kind of
Yeah, it's all very like I mean, all really we want is to get good players into the club, and if we can get to a number one pick who's highly rated by all the Cal Toomeys and all the other
well, Cal
guys
is
that,
the Oracle.
yeah, but all the guys that are pretty keen on this, continue to say like he's a Brendan Goddard like player, which Brendan Goddard in his prime was a pretty handy player. So
Quite good at
um
footy.
pretty good at footy when he got to us. He was probably a little bit angrier.
He
So anyway,
might have been sold a dream there, but anyway.
he might have been. So we do that a lot at Essendon.
He went hurry up.
Merritt's getting used to that too. So well, I'm all for it. I'd be interested to see if West Coast want
I hope they do.
it. Yeah, because compared to us, they're probably chasing more players. They're probably chasing those two players at pick 5 and 6 because that helps build their list. Whereas the one. Well, they get two, so it doesn't matter. They get 3 picks. So they'd have 2, 5, and 6. You think that they could be able to pull some decent players out of that?
You'd hope so, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure there were a handful that went we're going to the West Coast. I don't
Still
know
on
what
that.
I read.
How about you read some comments about what people have said?
Well, there's not a lot of comments on this either. Um,
Well, Matt said some good stuff.
Not fussed about getting up the order for Willem Duursma, but want to see elite young talent with speed and kicking ability coming into the team.
Sing it,
He's
sister.
identified coming. Grul, I don't know how to GRJL. I don't know how to friggin' heck you say that. There's no
That is a
vowels.
challenge. There's no vowels in it.
There's no
That's
vowels. I don't know how you do it.
yep.
Robbie Taylor and Sharp
Yeah.
thereabouts. Build around the kids. Interested to know if Hobbs, Sardis, Jones, or others have currency to be traded. Jones re-signed a deal this year. You're not
Yeah,
going to
so he's
trade a
staying.
bloke that re-signed.
Nope.
Hobbs hasn't been offered a contract, so that's what I'd say we're waiting on.
And Stardust has got 1 year to go.
And Sardis has got a year, and I don't believe anyone wanted him. That was the rumor.
And I would hope that Eston's saying that, well, let's try and get him right because he'd be valuable to us.
Oh, you just put some work into him, and see what you can get
Yeah.
out of him for sure.
Yep.
Brad said, and I feel this over it. Over most of it. The only thing interesting left for me is if we are looking at pick 1 or 2 and how Rosa and Co get it done.
Yep.
Um,
Phil?
Phil just he need to lock up the 2 NGA players we have on the cards.
Well,
It
you
was
have to trade.
so
He says you have to trade up at almost any cost.
well. Yeah, I do think in the shallow draft that
I agree.
Duursma's the role we need. And I'm a romantic here. I want the Duursmas.
Well, I think that I agree 100%. We need top end talent. That's part of our problem. We've got a lot of players that look like okay
And
talent.
can I just say,
Yep.
a good news story or 2? Like some excitement. Pick number 1 draft pick or build some
Yeah.
excitement amongst your fan base. And those that are a bit more negative of us might say, well, last time we had number 1 draft pick, how'd that work out for us?
Yeah.
And Duursma will
That's me.
forever be compared to Duff Tytler as McGrath and McCluggage are.
At least they're different players, so
Yes, yeah, apples and oranges.
yep.
I wanted to mention briefly the ruck, but we kind of covered that with Blackiston.
Yeah. Well, that's what
He's got a
Rose
ruck.
was saying.
Yeah, he's got a ruck for 2 months until Brian comes back, and then he can sort of, 6
Become a
weeks
defender
maybe,
again,
and sort of flick into or just be in the VFL or play as a ruck forward or I mean not ruck forward. Christ, he can't kick, but
Actually, he set shot. I did see him have a set shot, I reckon, and it was okay.
he had a set shot, I reckon, against Geelong. He nearly missed his boot.
No, well, that was his very early one. Later on, I reckon when he got a little less nervous, it was okay.
All right, fair enough. Anything else you want to bring up while we're here?
No, just how good the grand final was.
It's a good game of footy. Sucked in Geelong, Bailey Smith and co. Couldn't think of worse blokes for it to happen to. Better blokes for it to happen to. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Every year watching the grand final, I just get jealous. I watch the game and I get excited if I like the team, for the team that's won it. I'm happy, and I was happy for my mate who goes for Brisbane, and then they start getting their medals, and I'm thinking, for fuck's sake. The adoration they have for Chris Fagan is
So far from what we have.
phenomenal. There is so much love and respect for that man.
Yeah.
And it comes back the other way.
Yeah.
I hate it. I love it.
I just see we're so far from it. That's all.
We're
Whenever
so
I watch
far
it,
away
we're so
from it.
far away.
And
So far.
Fags is a pretty likable guy. Like, you can see it.
Yeah. Clearly, yeah.
And
so far
it
away.
just
So far.
don't play Neil. Don't play Neil. You never played injured players. Never works in the grand final. Comes on, plays one of the best sub halves you'll ever see.
Yep. Because they thought about it. They went, well, we won't play him for a full game. How are we going to have a strategy? What's he going to do?
But you know
And
what I
Geelong
like?
just didn't see it coming.
Do you know what I like?
What?
He sat there in the post match, albeit, and
Yep.
said, "I could have been a dickhead. I was either going to be an idiot
Yep.
or a genius."
Yep. Oh, yeah.
But he took a punt.
Yep.
Now,
That's
look,
good.
taking in punts in grand finals, don't know.
But sometimes that's what the game is. You've got to do things.
Yeah.
And that's what I think Geelong didn't do, is they didn't do anything.
They just expected
They never
the same.
made a change. No one ever went to a different position. They never threw someone down the other end. They didn't just something. Do something.
Do
Who
something.
said that?
Alan James?
Yeah.
Don't think, don't hope, do. Reece Stanley was a weird in too.
Oh,
I didn't think that was a great. Anyway, I'm a genius after the fact.
yeah. Oh no, I didn't think it was good in at the time. I thought, oh God, he's shit. And then that first moment I saw him where he shit himself and dropped the ball, I went, yep, he's still shit.
Well,
That's
they
why
get
if they get that Rowan Marshall, I'll be worried.
let me just talk about Nick Dacos coming second in everything.
Oh,
What a shit show!
that's
Look,
funny.
I love to hate Dacos. I think we all love to hate Dacos.
Yeah, yep.
Good player, right? You can't take
Yeah,
anything away from
very
him.
good player.
Good player.
Yep. Shit bloke.
Brownlow, we talk about the Brownlow forever and a day as being a weird system, and I tend to
Mm,
agree now. I don't think Raul was the best player all year. I think that was pretty clearly Dacos slash Bont, if you want
I
to
don't think it was
look at what he
Dacos either,
played.
but yeah.
But the jab from McRae at the best and fairest, maybe a few more 16 possession games, and you might get the Brownlow next year. For him to then finish second in the Collingwood best and fairest.
Well, the issue
And
I have with
then,
yeah, sorry.
sorry for
There
me.
you go.
And
Yep.
then he's come out and said, yeah, we might have a look at how we're doing the Copeland Trophy. We're going to have a look at how we vote and maybe change the system.
Oh my God.
What the? You just
I just
sometimes, Nick,
mm.
you have to come second. You've won a premiership, which is more than a lot of blokes get in their career.
But I just don't get McRae saying that. Like it's not a joke. It's like you all you're doing is taking that respect away from. And he came out and said, "Oh, no respect. It's nothing against what's his name,
Raul, but it is.
Rao." But it is.
You
It
just
fucking
said
clearly
he
is. It's
wasn't
a real
worthy.
fucking dig, mate.
Yeah, 100%. And they're winners. They're not losers. They don't
No.
complain.
And look, I'm sure there were games where if we went back through it, Nick Dacus probably got votes when he maybe had 22 touches and didn't do fuck all. But you know, like that's the game. Like let it go. Winners are winners.
I am open to not having umpires vote
Oh,
for
I'm
Brownlows. I'd do a
happy to
bit,
have the
but
conversation, but accept the umpire's decision at the moment.
they're not bullshitting it. Like there's a reason they're going into a room and making those decisions.
Yeah,
So,
that's what it's been. Just let it go. Who
yeah,
cares?
yeah. On that bombshell, let's
Mm.
leave it there. We might do this again in a couple of weeks after trade period if anything interesting happens.
Zach's still
Otherwise,
here.
draft night, or not draft night, but you know what I mean. Draft
Was it 45
news.
minutes?
I don't know because I didn't record on OBS, which means I can't see how long it's been.
Okay.
It'll be a surprise to both of us. I did record, just for clarity.
I was going to say that after you said, has it been
You
doing
heard the
this
Zoom
again?
girl at the
I'm
start
not doing this
recording.
again. I'm not
Recording.
doing this again.
You heard the Zoom girl recording in progress. She did her thing. All right. Thank you for tuning in. If you're listening on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, and that's really bloody exciting. And we'll chat to you post.
And another shout out to our main man, James.
Nothing better than ruining my flow with the outro. But yes, big shout out to Jiminy Billy Bob, who will get this episode an hour earlier than the rest of you. So
Best person going around.
suffer in your jocks. Go Dons.
Go Bombers.